All right. So now let's move on to all of the questions here. Yeah. We'll try to ask and answer all of the questions here. And if you still have any kind of words you want to ask, then just ask on the way. Doesn't really matter. Okay. So we have 13 questions here. So the first one is kind of heading, right? Choose the correct heading for paragraphs A to G from the list of heading below. Number 1, paragraph A, they did that first, and the answer is 6. Okay, Nhi, please read that. Read number 6, heading 6. Yeah, contrasting levels of interest in food, and that should be in paragraph A. Okay, now tell me, where can we find that information from paragraph A? Something like about contrasting levels of interest in food. Yeah, speak louder, I can't hear anything. Well, actually we have to read kind of almost everything here. Contrasting levels, I mean that many different levels of interest in food. For example, here at the beginning they say that most of us tend not to think about what we eat. So most of us tend not to think about what we eat, okay? And then here, line number 5 or 6, something here, they say that some, however, think differently, okay? I mean that most of us, most people tend not to think about what you eat, but some other people, however, they think differently. For example, what do they think? They think like, why, they wonder, is frozen milk yellow? Why does your mouth burn for longer when you eat chilies than when you eat mustard? And what would happen if you threw yourself into a swimming pool full of jelly? So some people, many people, they don't care about what they eat, but some people, they think differently and they keep asking those kind of questions. So that's why that is the heading for number 6 right here, contrasting levels of interest in food. Okay? Yeah? Tức là những cái mức độ quan tâm đến thức ăn khác nhau đó nha các bạn. Nha, thì có người thì quan tâm nhiều, có người quan tâm ít, có người đặt rất nhiều câu hỏi này kia vân vân. Okay? So that is contrasting levels of interest in food. Now number 2, paragraph B, what's the answer? Thiên Nga. 4. Okay, read that. Yeah, a source of information for some people. So that means from paragraph B, we must see a source of information for some people. Yeah? Okay, now what kind of source of information here? Tell me. Line number 4. Yeah, okay. Yes, that's right. So here they give some kind of information, like a source of information. Yeah, a source of information for some people. That means that for those people who are asking some questions in paragraph A, like why is frozen milk yellow? Why does your mouth burn for longer when you eat chilies than when you eat mustard? And here they give a source information, like some kind of information for those kind of people to consider. For example, like many of the issues raised have simple answers. For the questions above, there would be the riboflavin in milk begins to crystallize. It depends on your taste. The relevant chemical in mustard is more easily washed away by your saliva, and you float, but don't dive in head first. Okay? Yeah? So that means that they give a source of information for those people who are asking some kind of particular questions, like from paragraph A. Yeah? Now the next one, paragraph C, what's the answer? Number 9. Okay. Yeah, please read that. Yeah, how certain advice is decided on. So that's in paragraph C. Okay, how certain advice is decided on. Okay, we need to see some information about some kind of advice and how those kind of advices are decided on. Now tell me where. Line number 2. Mm-hmm. Yeah, periodically, yeah.
Various temperatures to check the level of bacteria spoilage over a few hours or days. The warmer it is, the more likely your palm sandwich is to be good.
Yeah, here they give some kind of different situations and why the advices can be given based on those situations. Okay, for example, like what's the difference between sell by days and use by days, and blah blah, all of things here. But it's more complex than that. The shelf life of food is actually determined. Okay, how certain advice is decided on. Some certain advice is decided on what? Determined by its manufacturers, although lab tests and government guidelines also come into play. So how, các bạn đọc cái phần đó ha, how certain advice is decided on, like for example, like food. First of all, food is tested periodically at various temperatures to check the level of bacterial spoilage over a few hours or days. The warmer it is, the more likely your prawn sandwich is to make you ill. And after the lab test, producers will set a use by date or a bet before date, or fresh shellfish need to be consumed by their use by date. So after all of them, they decide after the lab test. Okay. So that means that here the heading should be how certain advice is decided on. So that means that those or some certain advice is decided on what? After the lab test, or some they determined by its manufacturers, or something like that. Yeah. Okay. Được không bạn? Tức là ý nó nói cái tiêu đề là how certain advice, tức là cái lời khuyên nó được quyết định bằng cách nào, được không? Dựa trên cái gì hay bằng cách nào? Thì là dựa trên một số cái lab test, là dựa trên những cái test ở trong phòng lab, trong phòng thí nghiệm đó. Ok. Và dựa trên những cái kiến nghị hay là quyết định của nhà sản xuất, và dựa trên những cái lab test rồi government guidelines, hướng dẫn của chính phủ này kia vân vân, thì tất cả những cái đó nó tác động đến cái advice. Ok. Và advice thì được dựa trên những cái như vậy. Yeah. Đó, cho nên mình đọc nguyên cái đó thì mình sẽ thấy đáp án heading là number 9. Yeah. Ok. Rồi, paragraph D. What's the answer for paragraph D? One. Okay, please read that. Yeah, why a particular piece of information is given. Okay, so that means that in paragraph D, we must see some kind of explanation or some reasons why a particular piece of information is given. Yeah, in paragraph D. Okay, now tell me. Decades. Either bacteria. Yes, okay. So here, number one, they said that why a particular piece of information is given. Why a particular piece of information is given. And here they give some explanation here. They say that the same research explains why even bottled mineral water, which had previously lain in the ground for decades, needs a best before date. Okay? That is why a particular piece of information is given. Yeah. Tại sao một cái mảnh thông tin nào đó thì được đưa ra, thì ở đây nó có giải thích đó nha. Lại tại sao? The problem isn't the water but the bottling process. Either bacteria can be introduced that multiply and over time contaminate the water, or unpleasant chemicals such as antimony leach into the water from the plastic bottles. Cho nên đó lý do tại sao nó có một cái gọi là a best before date nha. Đó, nó giải thích lý do tại sao chúng ta cần phải có điền cái best before date vào trong cái sản phẩm, là tại vì những cái thông tin lý do như vậy nhé. Rồi, paragraph E. Khiên Nga, what's the answer? What? 8. Okay, please read that. Yeah, information connected with keeping certain kinds of food. Okay, so that means that in paragraph E, you must see some information connected or related to, okay, to what? Keeping certain kinds of food. So that means that keeping some kinds of food, make sure that it is fresh or it is able to be used, something like that. Yeah, that is in paragraph E. Okay, where? Line number 7 from the bottom. Uh, 13.3 degrees Celsius. Yes, okay. So from this one, yeah, like generally cooler environments preserve food best. Apart from tropical fruit, banana skins, for example, have evolved to survive in warm conditions because blah blah blah, all of those things. Okay, so they give you some kind of information connected with keeping certain kinds of food. Okay, so different kinds of food we need to keep it differently. Okay, yeah, all right. So based on from line number 7 here to the bottom, and then you can see that. Okay, or above that you also can see like the relevance of this research is that green peppers will decay faster than red peppers, if kept in sunlight. So that's the way to keep green peppers. Okay, higher oxygen levels provide more resources to feed any bacteria that are present. Okay, now paragraph F. What's the answer? 5. Yeah, development work leading to a conclusion. Okay, so we must see some kind of information related to development work, and that should lead to some kinds of conclusion. Okay, okay, now we need to find the information. Where? Line number 6 in paragraph F. Okay.
Years of trial and error led to the internationally accepted German standard VIII 1699, which ensures that almost every cap is the same. This is because 21 is the ideal number when we take into account of some difference of the cap, the likelihood of its splitting, and the chances of sticking in the copy machine.
Yeah, okay, yes, that's right. Yeah. So yes, you can start reading from years of trial and error until in the capping machine. Okay. So years of trial and error. What does that mean? When I talk about that, it's similar to what? In the heading. It's similar to what words or phrase in the heading?
Development.
Yeah, development work. Okay. So when we talk about years of trial and error, that means that we are talking about the development work. Okay. Mấy cái đó đồng nghĩa các bạn nhé. Years of trial and error tức là những cái năm tháng mà thử nghiệm rồi bị sai sót này kia vân vân, đó là toàn bộ ám chỉ đến development work, tức là cái công việc gọi là phát triển nha các bạn. Yeah, got it? Thì you see it? Yeah, trong cái heading đó nha. Development work. Ok. Rồi lead to a conclusion. Conclusion ở đây là gì? Nó ám chỉ đến nào, câu nào trong cái conclusion là câu nào, chính xác là khúc nào? Yeah, yeah, that's correct. And also before that, it mentioned like led to the internationally accepted German standard DIN 6099. That is kind of a conclusion. Okay. Yeah. So that they talk about the internationally accepted German standard DIN 6099. Okay. Nha, các bạn đọc các bạn sẽ thấy những cái cụm từ đồng nghĩa như vậy các bạn. You will see all of the words and phrases which are very similar to each other. So years of trial and error, that means that they are talking about development work, and leading to, it's just the same as led to, and a conclusion. Conclusion here, that is the internationally accepted German standard DIN 6099, and then they just explain further, okay, like which ensures that almost every bottle cap is the same. This is because 21 is the ideal number when you take into account the circumference of the cap, blah blah, until in the capping machine. Yeah. Okay. All right. Now paragraph G. Paragraph G, heading number 2, right? Okay. Read that, please. Yeah, an unsolved problem and a solution to a problem. Okay, so we must be able to find something like an unsolved problem. So that means that the problem is unsolved, and a solution to a problem. Okay, so first of all, an unsolved problem first. Where? What is the unsolved problem here? Yeah, is that the unsolved problem. Of course, some researchers do care about the more serious stuff driven by fear of the future and an ever-increasing population on a warming, land, impoverished planet. Yes, okay, that is kind of unsolved problem. And now, tell me something about a solution to a problem. Okay, yes, yeah, rotating crops so that the soil didn't lose one nutrient more than any other. So that's kind of a solution to a problem related to kind of land impoverished. Okay, would be vital as would plowing back dead plant matter and maintaining a vegetarian diet. After that, you would need to grow crops that take up very little space and grow vertically rather than horizontally, if possible. Okay. Yeah. Also here up there, they said that however they did come up with a menu that could feed a family of four for 365 days a year using only 8 square meters of land. So they are talking about some kind of solution here. Yeah. Until the end. Okay, so we see unsolved problem and we can see a solution to a problem. So that's why the best heading for paragraph G is number 2. Okay, yeah. Okay guys, so that's it for today, and we will continue next time. We will explain questions 8 to 13 in the next lesson. Okay.